When you think of starting a company, especially when you're younger, like in your 20s, what comes to mind first? Supercars, mansions, parties, popping champagne on a yacht in Miami. Well, I hate to break it to you, for 99.99% of people, that's not how it goes. You're consistently working, and there's not really a work-life balance at all, and it's hard to have a social life on top of it and be really successful with building a company. In most cases, a lot of people have to take on loans, or they take on a job, or even maybe a second job to be able to just to make ends meet, to be able to keep the company going, or even start a company. Most people just kind of like work a job until they have enough money to be able to start the company that they're looking to start. For me, I was fortunate enough to be able to have my parents let me stay with them and live with them while I was building the company out. I feel like I have a little bit of an advantage because my parents let me stay with them, but at the same time, I feel like I'm at a disadvantage because now I feel like there's always a clock sitting on my desk and it's continuously ticking down. I feel like to make up for the fact that I'm living with my parents right now after I just graduated from college in May, I have to consistently be working. I need to make sure that I'm not wasting any of my time to be able to make the most of the time that I have right now and what I'm doing to build the company. And it's hard to have personal time and free time, even really hobbies, because you become so consumed with the work that you're doing and trying to take the company where you're at to the next level. And it's even harder to know that I know what steps I need to take now to become successful and what I have to do to take the company to the next level, which is launching it on the market. But that just means spending even more time working and even less time with friends and doing other things that I like. And on top of that, it makes everything that you're doing revolved around the company as well. So if you go out with family, for example, like Thanksgiving or Christmas, I'm thinking about the company consistently, and the conversations that I would have wouldn't be genuine because I'm consistently thinking about how I could be working on the company or getting the company ahead, the problems associated with it, and it really affects your mental state and your mood all the time. In the same day, you could be on the top of the world to all the way down in the bottom of the Mariana Trench. For example, we had finished our first wireless prototype, and I was super excited about it. I was jubilant, on top of the world. I was playing pickleball. I was excited. I was cooking everybody. And I got a phone call on the same day that we had a new $6,000 patent that we had to pay, and we don't have $6,000 to pay. So you're really experiencing both tips of the iceberg there, and it's a scary thing because it takes a lot of risk as well. I don't take any salary. So any money that I'm making, it's specifically coming from the content that I make on social media, the brand deals, the sponsorships, the affiliates. I don't make any money from the startup at all. And that's why I'm thankful of having people in my life like my parents who allow me to stay rent free to be able to continue to work on the company. It's even more tough because I'm working a 90 to 100 hour week on something that I'm not getting a dime for. But that's all about the mission of what you're doing and the reason why you still keep going. We haven't taken any external funding yet. We've won $25,000 from pitch competitions I'll talk to you later about. But we only have around $12,000 left in the bank. And I have all that allocated towards resources like building the rest of the company with engineering, paying out legal fees, paying out financial fees, and any bumps or slip-ups that come along the way until we get to that inflection point of getting more funding. And I realized that in doing this, not taking the salary, working all the time, it's a ton of time that you spend by yourself alone. And I feel like for a lot of founders, the reason they say find a co-founder is because it can get really depressing really fast because you're spending tons of time every single day essentially doing the same thing by yourself. And I'm fortunate to have a co-founder who's awesome as well, but he lives in a different city. So we're not in the same house, we're not in the same place. And I spend a lot of my time in front of my computer on Zoom calls, forecasting, designing, building out roadmaps, talking to investors, but all of it's done in this same room in front of my computer. And these conversations, a lot of the time, aren't fun conversations. It's a lot of fundraising, ton of fundraising. Fundraising in itself is you start a company, as you become a founder, and as you realize, that becomes your full-time job on top of everything else, especially when you're developing things. Because when you're working on a product, you usually have a technical founder and a not technical founder. My co-founder is an electrical engineer, and I studied chemistry. I know what I want to make. I just don't know how we're going to put the electronics together to do it. And we've gotten $25,000 over the past year from national pitch competitions all across the country. But tons of that have gone to the patent, which costs around $25,000, and I put another $25,000 of my own money in, so we're around $50,000 down right now, along with the engineering, consulting, and prototyping and development that we've been doing to get to our next inflection point. And the big problem that we've run into as a startup now is the fact that it's almost like a chicken and the egg situation. So we need to raise $250,000 to make our wireless prototype look perfect, immaculate, and work flawlessly. But the problem right now is it's taking a lot of time because we don't have a lot of money to speed up the development, but we have enough money to get it done. When we're doing that, it means a lot of people are doing favors for us. We meet a lot of really cool people, but when they go to help us out, if there's anything else that comes up on their plate, our stuff gets pushed down farther on the ladder, which is 100% fine. That's how it goes. The tough thing is you get these development deadlines, and then you're expecting them to be done, and then all of a sudden you're 2 months behind, and that's going to push you back from getting funding even further. So now it's like, crap, what are we going to do? Because we have more of these bills piling up. Now, with the problem of the chicken and the egg, we have a prototype where it's very good, and we actually just hit a major inflection point where the wireless prototype is done. But the problem is, for the longest time, it wasn't to the point where we would be able to raise a round of capital where it was a really solid MVP. We needed to get more money to continue prototype development, but in order to get more money, we had to show progress with the prototype development. Does that make sense? And there's different ways that people do this. You have the friends and family raise, which is around $50,000 to $150,000, where I don't know where these people get this money because I don't have a rich family, but people dump around that $50,000 to $150,000 mark in for individuals to raise money. There's also accelerator programs, which like Techstars, Y Combinator. We applied to Techstars. We got denied for this one, but we got like a soft acceptance into the next one, which is $100,000. We'd go to Texas for 3 months and they'd take 10% of the company, which is pretty steep, but they're giving us $100,000 at a pretty early stage company in tech. Next is the seed raise and then the Series A raise, but we're focusing on friends and family because we need to bring on that first amount of capital just to keep the company going. And being good at anything is ridiculously hard, but what I've learned in building the startups and doing this at 23 years old, right out of college, is persistence really does close the distance. And if you want to be really good at something, determination beats talent every single time. Because the people who are the best at something or want to become the best, it doesn't matter how good you are today. It doesn't matter how good you are a year from now. All that matters is you're making progress along the way. And anybody who wants to find the success in their life that I've studied, researched, learned, talked to, they've just effortlessly worked towards that goal. And you can't expect a different outcome, but always be working towards that main goal that you want to have in mind. And it makes it all easy. It's even tougher because I don't know if what I'm doing is right, and I don't even know if what I'm doing will work out. All I know is that I've been working on it for 4 years now, and we've made a ton of progress along the way, and we've made a bunch of cool memories, met tons of cool people, had a lot of amazing conversations, and I know now that we're building some really cool tech that's going to help millions of people across the world. And we're not going to stop until we see a smile on everybody's face who's suffering from chronic pain to show them that a happier and healthier life's out there. Just got to have the determination to go after it. I appreciate all you guys for watching this video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace. For those of you who are just joining in, my name is Jake. I'm 23 years old, just graduated from college, building a company called Lectra. It's a tech company. We want to be a non-invasive substitution to opioids for pain management. So it's pretty much a smart Band-Aid. Goes onto your arm, sends electricity, blocks pain, and helps people recover. I want to make a series. Just documenting the journey, talking about what I've learned along the way, what I haven't learned, because I'm not an expert. I don't even think I'm essentially that good at it yet because I have a ton to learn. But what I do know is I've learned stuff along the way, and that stuff is helpful. It's helped me move ahead. There's stuff that I would go back and change and I wouldn't do again. There's tons of amazing people I've met, but the main thing is there's a pretty cool story along the way. And I want to share that with everybody watching the video. And I hope this information is valuable to you. Because I know if I was watching this video 4 years ago when I started my company, it would have been extremely valuable to me.